Phoenix, celebrate culture, community, and football. Join Phoenix Rising on Saturday, September 20th at 7 p.m. for Hispanic Heritage Night as they face off against Loudon United FC. The first fans through the gates will receive free Rising maracas while supplies last. And the night features live mariachi bands and a special menu honoring the flavors of the valley. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Color, culture, rising together.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true.
You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7?
And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps with my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
There are a million reasons to smile, a million reasons to laugh. And now the Arizona Lottery is giving you a million reasons to play. Because when you play Strike It Rich, all cash or any scratchers worth $10 or more, you can enter the $1 million Mega Market giveaway for a chance to win an all-expense paid Las Vegas vacation and up to $1 million. Learn more at ArizonaLottery.com. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Fall savings have arrived at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus $998.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A lot of winning over the weekend for the football teams. A lot of winning occurring here on this program over the weekend. Welcome in. Another week, another Monday edition here of the lunch break on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours here today on the show. Producer Evan, he's hanging out behind the glass. He's ready to take your phone calls. 480-864-1060 is the phone number if you want to hang out with us here today. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. A Cardinal win yesterday, a Sun Devil win on Saturday, a combined 6-0 in the picks for the program. Our response to team listeners this week. So we're now in the win column here for the first time in 2025. We'll get to it all here today over the course of the program, but we start with the football team that played yesterday, the football team that was so close to doing what we asked them to do, but ultimately fell short in that goal.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I will repeat the words from last Monday's Daily Special. I'm not giving it back. I will not return the win to the National Football League. The Cardinals are 2-0. They are 2-0 for the first time since 2021. I am not going to take that away from them, nor am I going to ask the NFL to alter their record because maybe they didn't play all that great in these two games. But the Cardinals are 2-0 for the first time since 2021. The unfortunate thing is they've had 2 chances here in the early part of the season to make a statement, to impress us. And they haven't done so. They're 0 for 2. And so today the Cardinals are lucky that they play in the National Football League and that they're not a college football program where the style of your victory matters. How you win matters. The margin of victory matters. How efficient you are on both sides of the ball matters. In the NFL, the only thing that matters is your win-loss record. And for the Cardinals, they are 2-0. That top line is all that matters. But what we do here on this show the day after, what we do on this show the week in between games, is we try to zoom out. And if you zoom out and you look at this team from the 10,000-foot view, I don't know how different this team is from a year ago. Going to use an analogy, might be a little bit of a rough one, but maybe you'll see where I'm going. You have a family member, former significant other, best friend that you've fallen out of touch with. You've gone your separate ways for one reason or another. Maybe something that person has done you couldn't support, you didn't want to be involved in. So you said, you know what? I have to remove myself from this situation. The way you speak to me, the way that you are out, hang out when we're all out together as friends, in a different chapter of my life, I don't want to be around that. Then you hear through the grapevine, Timmy's changed. He's different. Seems like he's got his life back together. And you're like, okay, I like Timmy. We didn't see eye to eye as we grew older. We kind of just grew apart. So you want to give Timmy another chance. So you go out, you hang out with Timmy, and you start to see a little bit of the signs of, oh, maybe he has changed. But then in a brief moment, you're reminded, because he does something, of the old Timmy. That's what the Cardinals remind me of right now. Because the Cardinals all offseason long, what we heard, new defense. Offense, going to take the next step. They don't need to add anybody. Continuity, same coaching staff. They're going to be different. It's going to be a different Cardinals football team. And I see at moments, at times over these first 2 games, I see what everybody's been talking about. But then I'm reminded of the reason why I walked away in the first place. I'm reminded of the reason why I'm skeptical of this Cardinals team in the first place. Because yesterday, they had a 27-3 lead. They were completely in control, dominating that game. And we were going to get to come in here today and talk about the Cardinals making a statement in week 2, the thing we asked for on Friday, the thing we've asked for the last 2 Fridays here on this show. You were going to get that statement. But then the old Cardinals showed up. The Cardinals that couldn't finish a game showed up. The Cardinals that can't do the little things right showed up. And that game got way closer than it needed to be. And then an onside kick goes against you, and the Panthers are driving with a chance. It was 27-19 at the time, so they would have needed the 2-point conversion, but they were in position. No, it was 27-22 at the time. So that
when they got the ball back, it was 27-22.
You would have had a chance to lose a football game that you were leading 27-3. And at one point, you were driving in early in the fourth quarter up 27-9, but an interception from Kyler Murray changed the way that game finished.
And they came out in that series and really kind of had a nice one. Like it just felt like that was the series too, where you're kind of circling it as you're watching it. Like, okay, this is your chance to put them to sleep a little.
Those drives that we talk about.
Those are the ones we've talked about. And they came out and they had a really kind of a nice possession and moved the ball all the way down into the red zone. And then all of a sudden, you get the pick. You're just trying to play hero ball there. It's 3rd and 3. I don't need a hero. Most importantly, I need points there.
I'll take 3 points.
I'll take 3 points.
I'll take 30-9.
3. You know what 3 points would have done to you there? Is imagine we get in the same situation. Imagine it is 30-22 now at the end of the game and they get the onside kick. Now they have to score and get the 2 point.
Right.
You're not in a position to lose the football game.
You don't know for sure that that's exactly the way the game would turn out if they did kick the field goal. But I hear what you're saying, that when you look at the end game scenario, that it was 27-22, those extra 3 points would have been nice to have in your back pocket, would have made you probably a little less, although maybe not by much, anxious watching this game. It just feels like I want to buy back into the Cardinals. I want to assume that they've changed, to use my rough analogy of the person that you've been close with forever, but for whatever reason you've grown apart, and you hear rumors that they're changed and you want to reconnect with that person, but you're then reminded of the reason why you disconnected in the first place. We were reminded yesterday of all the reasons why we're skeptical of this Cardinals team. We want to buy in. We want to believe this team is different. But you saw yesterday, for the second straight week, they couldn't finish.
And even after they do get the first down, even after the pick and Carolina comes down and puts points on the board, you get the ball back and you get a first down. You go 3 and out. You run the ball twice. You get 4 combined. I think you got 6 on the first one and lost 2 on the next.
We'll talk about the running game a little bit later on in the show.
And so you get 4 yards, and then you have a miscommunication on 3rd and 6, and you throw the ball 25, 30 yards down the field, and nobody's there. And you punt immediately. So you get the ball back with 5 minutes on the clock, and after a penalty on the kickoff, you're inside your own 10, and I go 3 and out immediately and have to punt it back.
By the way, credit to the Cardinals defense. They had penalties go against them on that final drive, but they got consistent pressure on Bryce Young, and they were able to make everything really difficult on that final drive. And ultimately, Calais Campbell was the one who sealed the deal with the sack that ended things, got the ball back for the Cardinals. And so credit to the defense for doing what they needed to do on that final drive in crunch time. But it just feels like, yes, the Cardinals won yesterday, but feels like we, for 2 weeks now, are, yeah, they won, but this. It was, yeah, they beat the Saints, but that was way too close for comfort. And then this week it was, yeah, they won, but they had a 27-3 lead, and they allowed Carolina to have the ball in the final minute of the game with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, and more credit to the defense on the fact of how much they were on the field in the fourth quarter. Right? You throw the pick, they get a long drive. Then we come out 3 and out. Defense back out there. Carolina scores again.
I mean, Carolina won the time of possession battle in this game.
And then they got an onside kick, so you're back out there again. They played, other than, I believe, a minute of the fourth quarter. I believe it was 13 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the total time of possession was 33 minutes and 15 seconds for the Panthers, 26 minutes and 45 seconds for the Cardinals. And, you know, there was a turnover in this game from Kyler Murray, but they still won the turnover battle 2-1. The penalties were lopsided, 12 for 96 for the Cardinals. They lost that battle as well. Didn't run the ball all that efficiently. We'll talk about that here a little bit later on in the show. You know, 26 first downs for the Panthers to only 16 for the Cardinals. Total plays 77 for the Panthers, 48 for the Cardinals. For a team that was up 27-3, you would think those stats were reversed. Total yardage. Panthers outgained you in this game. So you won, yes. You're 2-0. You are setting up for a clash here in week 3 with the San Francisco 49ers with the top spot in the division on the line. I get it. I understand what we're all setting up for on Sunday. But I don't feel great today about it.
No,
I don't feel great about this team being 2-0. Not all 2-0 teams are created the same. I'll let you know right now. Spoiler alert for a little bit later on in the week. They're not going to be in the top 5.
No,
they're not going to be in
not
HM.
The Packers. They are not. Yeah, they're not even an HM, right? So understand you're 2-0, and that's awesome. But there's a lot to work on. There's a lot to work on.
And we've always said, always easier to work on things when you're 1-0 that week. In this case, now 2-0 for the season. Always easier to work on these things. But I do have some major concerns coming out of 2 games that were supposed to be relatively easy, not being easy for this team, and some of the same things that worried us last year about this team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, yesterday in particular, reared their ugly head.
I mean, offensively for this team in the first half, they had 6 points until 50 seconds left in the first half, right? Because you got the defensive touchdown.
Yep.
And then you had the last drive before the half. And I'll give them credit. Great job getting the ball back there with 50 seconds. Now you got it in opponent territory, but you're able to punch it in. It's a great throw to Michael Wilson. But other than that, the offense was stagnant. Marv did not have a catch until the second half. A horrible drop on a comeback, and he drew a PI, but he didn't have a catch until the second half.
So you just said didn't have a catch till the second half, dropped the ball, got a PI call. It sounds like I'm describing a game from 2024. It sounds like I'm describing this Cardinals passing attack from 2024.
Nothing looked different.
That's the worry. That's the concern today when they're 2-0. We'll dive deeper into the offense a little bit later on in the program, but top line, this team is 2-0. But again, for all of the reasons that you want to buy into this team, you are reminded of the reasons for now 2 straight weeks of why you still sit on the fence. They are not doing anything to sway you or to sway me from thinking that they're any different from last year's team. The only difference, they're 2-0 to start the year. They haven't done that since 2021. I'll give them that. They're winning football games without playing their A+. They're not playing their A+ ball. When we give out the grades later in the week, they're not going to get an A+ overall. But they're 2-0. They got to be better when they play the 49ers of the world, when they play the Bucs, when they play the Bengals, when they play all these great teams as the season progresses. You've got to play better than you've played through the first 2 weeks. So make those adjustments. But the worry is, I don't know where the adjustments are coming from because it's basically the same group on the offensive side of the ball that you had last year. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, we mentioned that the Cardinals failed to make a statement. Well, that got started on Saturday because ASU did the same thing. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. There's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Turn up the action at Arizona's hottest casinos. The Diamond Rewards Card from Desert Diamond Casino is the only club where you can earn exclusive benefits like free play, dining, and so much more. Just one card unlocks all 5 dazzling locations, including the brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks. One club, 5 destinations. The Diamond Rewards Club at Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Austin Nation.
Bet with your head, not over it. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
I'm Bree.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And we are the Berquist family. We are repeat Fulton customers, and we've lived in a Fulton community for 6 years. We had been looking for a home, and so we walked into the Fulton community, and we were just absolutely blown away. When we walked into the model home, we noticed the high ceilings, the beautiful kitchen, the flooring, and the floor plan. We knew it was a place where we were going to raise our family.
And on top of that, we have a swimming pool and a good location here.
When you say the word community, you have to be able to see it and feel it. And so when you have your neighbors, you feel that community because you become friends, and it even feels like family, like a family community. And that is something that is priceless and can last a lifetime. We absolutely would recommend a Fulton home to our friends and family.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. This guy said to Alex, like, hey, what's your name? Larry. What would you like to talk about? I don't know. I'm just going to let it rip when I get on the air. And you know what? For some reason, I'm okay with that today. Let's find out. Larry in H-Town. Larry, what's going on, dude? You're on the air.
Thank you for the vine, Jim. So that was an awesome introduction. I feel honored. I'm actually a longtime listener and a very well-versed, clone. You could say I am don't need to rehearse my call or anything like that. I just want to come on air and give you my thoughts. That I love your show. I love you. And I've always been a passionate listener for over, 30 years, really. I'm only 41, so it's been a long time. But beyond.
No. Yo, bro. You don't like that call. If you had rehearsed, not a very good call. You probably would have known that you can't give your age. Giving your age is going to get you run. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASU certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KTUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KTUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KTUS1060.com and on the KTUS 1060 app.
We got the NFL Rewind coming up in about 10 minutes or so from now. We'll go around the NFL, week 2 games. But it was another non-statement performance over the weekend for an Arizona football team. Arizona State hosting Texas State on Saturday. Got to 2-1 with a 34-15 win over Texas State. And Producer Evan, I need you to weigh in on this because I forget exactly how we phrased it on Friday, but we warned everybody about ASU drawing into the 11-15 spot. We said if ASU got into the second spot of the show, probably wasn't a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Think that's what we said? Think that's how we described it? That a big blowout victory probably wouldn't have gotten them the 11-15 spot. That if they found themselves in the second segment of the program, probably wasn't good. And here we are, second segment of the program, talking about this ASU team, because I'll just say it. I'm not impressed. This is not a championship caliber football team right now. And unlike for the Cardinals, who can say, it doesn't matter how we win, it just matters that we do win. For ASU, it does matter how you win. It does matter what it looks like, because those are the things that the committee is going to use as potential tiebreakers. And as we've seen before, they will use poor performances against teams that they may already have something against. Not to say that they have it out for ASU in the Big 12, but we do know there tends to be a benefit of the doubt given to other conferences like the SEC and like the Big 10. The Big 12 doesn't get that benefit of the doubt. So don't give them a reason to lean into where they already tend to go when tie-breaking 2 teams in the college football playoff. But this team is 3 games in, and I'm still not impressed with what I'm seeing from the quarterback. I still haven't had that statement victory, and they start Big 12 play coming up against Baylor on the road. I mean, this is the most important game of the season. The most important game of the season. Now, yes, can they run the football very well? Saw that again on Saturday. Yes, is Jordan Tyson going to be the first wide receiver taken in the 2026 NFL draft? Certainly looking like it. Had another highlight reel worthy play.
I mean, first of all, before I get into what I thought of Jordan Tyson, not only the touchdown where he hurdles somebody, tiptoes the sideline, dives for the pylon, everybody's going to see that. The catch he makes on the first series, which is like spinning, up between two defenders is just as good.
Is that the one where the Texas State safety comes over the top and takes out his own player and never looks for the ball?
Yes.
Because that was some excellent defensive work there by the Texas State secondary.
Very similar to the Minnesota Miracle, how that went down. Exactly, looked exactly the same.
Never identified where the ball was.
And then if he brought down that fade one-handed.
No, it would have been special.
Would have been special.
I know that about Jordan Tyson. And I'll give the comp because I've said it to multiple people over the weekend. I had some buddies in town. We were hanging out over the weekend. And I said it to a couple of people, and I said it to somebody that I know over at the Sun Devil side of things, not in the football program per se, but somebody over there. We have buddies that work. You work for the radio broadcast, so I know a bunch of people over there. And I said to somebody that I know over there, I hate to do this, but the person he reminds me of when he plays is Justin Jefferson. Like, that's the player he reminds me of when the ball is in his hands, the movement skills, the balance, his ability to just do things in space. It reminds me of the best receiver in football.
Yeah, and you hate to give that comp.
It's unfair to Jordan Tyson.
It's unfair to Jordan Tyson, but it does feel like that, right? It does. It's his movements with the football. It's his route running ability. Listen, you think Texas State came into this game and was like, okay, we're gonna single cover Jordan Tyson? They had meetings all week. Don't let Jordan Tyson beat you. He had 6 for 105 and a touchdown.
But I know that. I know how good he is. I know how great that connection is. What I'm worried about is we've played 3 games, and I'm watching Sam Leavitt not create any chemistry with another receiver. I'm watching Sam Leavitt look for Jordan Tyson, and if it's not there, immediately take his eyes down and try to run out of the pocket. I see an offense that is extremely, the passing game is what I'm talking about here, one-dimensional. The first read is to Jordan Tyson, and you understand why that's the case. But then after that, there's a whole lot of nothing. And I'm sorry, you're not going to win the Big 12 championship. You're not going to return to the college football playoff if you are a one-dimensional passing attack. Because I hate to sound like a broken record, but they didn't have Jordan Tyson in the game against Texas. And you saw the limitations it put on the passing game. You saw what they weren't able to do. The reason why they got back into that game against Texas was the running game with Cam Scadaboo and Sam Leavitt running all over the place, making plays. I just don't think that is repeatable enough and consistent enough to make a living as a college football program with that being your passing game. So they need to get better there. And you know what, Ev? We saw another game over the weekend, and I still have the same problems that I had the week before, which were the same problems that I had the week before that. We're 3 weeks in. Big 12 play starts this upcoming week for ASU against Baylor, and I am legitimately concerned that this team does not have a passing attack that is good enough to win football games.
The 2 things I will tell you, and I think I'm going to take more positive out of this game, actually, than I think originally probably it sounds. One, I thought they found their identity for the first time. I don't care that you don't have Cam Scadaboo. Run the ball. Well, you ran the ball 42 times.
If Raleek Brown is going to get 12 yards a carry, just keep giving him the ball.
Yeah, and take that big run out. He still had 6.2 yards a carry. Right? Run the ball. Know who you are. Dominate the running game. That's what this team needs to do, and they did it this weekend. And I'll tell you this. Yes, is Jordan Tyson still the focal point? But it was nice to see Shimon Mateer get involved. He had 6 grabs. I thought that was not only his best game of the year, probably his best game in the last 2 years. And they tried to use Jaron Hamilton. He had the nice kick return that ends up getting called back. They throw the bomb, which is probably Sam's best throw of the day, and he drops it along the left sideline. They tried to get some other people involved more than they had in the past. Would I like to see it amplified next week? Is it going to have to be? Certainly. But I think there was some slight positives to take out of it.
Road test against Baylor this upcoming Saturday. Then you come back home and face TCU on Friday night. And then you're at Utah, home against Texas Tech your next 4 weeks. I mean, it is just test after test after test for this football team for the next month or so. That's what's in front of this club right now. So you take the win. You're excited that they had the performance to bounce back and get to 2-1, and we're not sky is falling. Team is 1-2, season over. But I don't feel any better about this team going into the Baylor game I don't feel any differently about this team than I did last week when we were recapping them losing to Mississippi State in the final moments of that one. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it is the Week 2 NFL Rewind. We'll go across the league and recap all of the games from yesterday. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Everyone's against Detroit. They think that because they lost Ben Johnson, that all of a sudden Detroit and Dan Campbell are going to fold. I think they're still going to be good. Everyone that's seen The Water Boy, read by you, he had the green notebook. So once Henry Winkler's character gave Red Bayou the notebook, which is Dan Campbell, he was able to execute it. But I think Dan Campbell could Red Bayou himself.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Empty slogans and cute jingles. Lawyers love to act like they care. Do they back it up? Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. One study found that half of all clients were unhappy with the lawyer they hired. The number one complaint, a total lack of communication.
We take client happiness seriously. That's why we survey all our clients and know that over 97% are happy. Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
I got my first real six-string.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th, with special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long, whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside. This is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Are you ready to score big with your finances? Right now, get $350 for opening a new MidFirst checking account. Just visit a branch near you or go online. Plus, register your MidFirst debit or credit card and enter to win a $1,500 shopping spree. No purchase necessary. The clock's ticking, so don't wait. Win big this season with MidFirst Bank. Visit midfirst.com for details. MidFirst Bank. True to you. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Pat. The other day at work, they brought in pizza for lunch. So I swooped in and I grabbed 3 slices. The coworker next to me said, "Geez, Pat, you can't have it all." Then I corrected him and said, "Yeah, I can. And you can too. With a new 2025 Toyota truck. Power and performance, capability and reliability." Well, I must have convinced him because he grabbed the plate out of my hand and he said, "Good point, Pat."
Right now, get low 1.75% financing for 72 months on a new 2025 Tundra. Or get 2.99% 48-month financing on a new Tacoma SR or SR5. To check out great deals on your favorite Toyota, visit your Valley Toyota dealer or valleytoyotadealers.com today. Toyota, let's go places. 1.75% with $14.64 per thousand borrowed for 72 months. 2.99% with $22.13 per thousand borrowed for 48 months. 0 down payment if you qualify. Offers exclude TRD Pro and Trail Hunter models and N93025. See dealer for details.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Week 2 yesterday in the NFL. Whole slate of games across the league. We recap them here. We call it the NFL Rewind. Producer Evan, you're in charge here. Take us on a football journey.
Sunday started in Cincinnati. After a Joe Burrow injury, Bengals still held on 31-27 over the Jaguars, moved to 2-0.
Not sure if held on is the word that I would use to describe what the Bengals did.
I guess came back still.
Because the Jaguars gave this one away. Joe Burrow leaves this game. We now have learned that he's going to miss the next 3 months. Has to get surgery on his toe. So it's the Jake Browning show. And he was turning the ball over a bunch. I think he ended the day with, 3 interceptions in this one?
Which I can't believe, whatever.
The Jags gave this one away.
That's a really bad loss for the Jags.
They should not have allowed the Bengals to be anywhere close to this game. They had a chance late. It's 27-24. They could have kicked a field goal to make it 30-24. They decided to go for it. They didn't get it. Bengals went and then scored to win the game 31-27. Thought that was an interesting decision. Not saying it was a bad decision, because if you score the touchdown, you put yourself up, what would that have been, 10 points at that point? It's a 2-possession game. I understand all the reasons for doing it. But you want to look at a turning point, an inflection point in the game where things may have flipped. That play, that stop from a Cincinnati defense that was struggling against this Jags offense. And then for Cincinnati, you win the game, yes, but
where's your season, right? And that's the biggest question. Browning, the last time he had kind of come in and played a decent amount of time, he was serviceable. He was not terrible.
Serviceable is not going to help the Bengals make
serviceable
the
with that defense is not going to help them.
Especially,
you just need to stay above water.
Some of the other teams in the AFC that have been overly impressive so far that maybe we weren't anticipating to be overly impressive.
Luckily for them, it is a 2-0 start.
It is better than the alternative, yes.
Yep. A lot of bad situational football in Dallas. Cowboys kicked the game-winning field goal from Brandon Aubrey, 40-37 over the Giants.
Let's see if we can get to everything from this game. A vintage Russell Wilson performance.
That ended in a very current Russell Wilson performance.
Ended with the interception that you are watching going, what did he see on that play? All of the penalties at the start of the game for the Giants couldn't really get any type of flow to their offense. The whole game in the first quarter and a half had zero flow. You had the deep balls to Neighbors. You had Wandale on a deep ball as well. Cam Scatterbo first touchdown. Shout out to him getting in the end zone.
I was going to say shout out to Cam. Shout out to his run right before that. And we're not even going to talk about, what was the few snaps for Dart?
That happened. Brandon Aubrey hit a kick from Houston that tied the game.
He's the best kicker I've ever seen.
He hit it from 65. It would have been good from 75.
80. Yeah.
I mean, it hit the back of the net. It wasn't even close to missing. It wasn't like 65 and a half and he barely got it through.
No, he's the greatest kicker I've ever seen.
He had room to spare, plenty of it. You then had the weirdness of overtime where I thought Dallas was making mistakes and they were playing for the tie, basically. Russ throws the pick. Dallas takes advantage. That's a really tough loss for the Giants. It does at least put the Jackson Dart conversation to the side for a little bit because Russ goes for 450. But, man, you start 0-2. You play basically the best version of football I think you're capable of playing right now as a team, and it's still not good enough.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker for the Giants. All right, Ben Johnson's return to Detroit went as poorly as it could have. 52 for the Lions, 21 for the Bears.
Shame on the Lions fans were chanting at Ben Johnson at the end of the game. Remember who got you to the place that you're at right now, and Ben Johnson was one of those pieces. He can go to greener pastures and take a head coaching job and get that promotion and get the notoriety, and you can be classy about it. So didn't love that. Loved the bounce-back performance from the Lions overall. That's probably going to make a lot of people breathe a sigh of relief there in Detroit. But for the Bears, I continue to have concerns about what Caleb Williams' ceiling is as a quarterback. Because this was supposed to be the fix. Ben Johnson was supposed to be the magician that got the most out of Caleb Williams. Now, it's just 2 weeks. But let me tell you, I'm watching the same quarterback that I saw last year.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's anything different. Rams head to Tennessee, get a win 33-19. Stafford looks as healthy as can be, and Cam Ward made some throws in this game that just make you scratch your head.
I'll tell you, impressed by the Titans having a lead going into halftime of this game. Impressed by that. Fell apart in the second half. Got outscored 23-6 in the second half. That's the growth and maturity. Problem is, when you have a head coach who doesn't understand the rules of football, I'm a little worried about you growing from a moment like that. So concerned about things in Tennessee after an 0-2 start.
Patriots get a win in Miami, 33-27.
Speaking of concerning, Miami is running out of time. They're 0-2.
You've already had a players-only meeting.
You're going to be 0-3. Just spoiler alert. You are not beating the Bills in Buffalo on a short week on Thursday night. Just not happening. I don't know what the number is going to be. There's a really good chance it's my 3-point play. Back-to-back weeks playing a Thursday night game for me.
That, I will tell you, that number, I assume, is going to be large.
I see what the number is right now.
10.5?
More than that.
14.5.
13.5 is what I've seen it at. Just looking.
It's a big number.
It is. Bills are great. Dolphins stink.
It's a big number.
It is a big number. Then after that, you play the Jets on Monday Night Football. Could be 0-4.
Seriously, could be 0-4.
Could be 0-4.
Mac Jones and the Niners get a win in New Orleans, 26-21 over the Saints, and Mac Jones looked good. 26 of 39 for 279, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
I mean, he did lose a fumble. Lost two fumbles in the game, 1 lost, 1 recovered. So did have a turnover. But look good. Now, they played the Saints. If Mac Jones,
that says enough.
If Mac Jones plays this week against the Cardinals, bit of a tougher test against this Cardinals defense. But Mac Jones came in and ran the offense. And didn't we say this on Friday that we anticipated Mac Jones being able to go in there and run the offense basically just as efficiently as Brock Purdy because that's the way the Shanahan system works? You saw it on Sunday.
Bills get a win in the Meadowlands, 30-10. Bills just are really good.
Just a dominating performance from Buffalo. And they didn't have Ed Oliver in this game. Thought that the running game of the Jets was going to be a problem considering what Baltimore did to them the week before. And this is where coaching matters. This is where it doesn't matter necessarily the talent that you have. It's the coaching. They got coached up, made some adjustments. They were really good. They got the Jets behind early in this game. And when the Jets are behind early with Justin Fields, who had a very bad game yesterday, left with a concussion, don't know if he's going to play this week against Tampa. When you get a team that is run first behind multiple scores, really hard for them to get back into the game. Bills are able to turn it sideways and run away with this one.
Seahawks travel to Pittsburgh and get a win, 31-17 over the Steelers, with one of the craziest plays I have ever seen in the National Football League.
It's just one of those plays that in a sport that has a 17-game sample size, you can't have those types of plays. I'm sorry, you just can't. They're inexcusable. You have a kickoff that you just let bounce in the landing zone. You let it run into the end zone, and you just let them go get it for a touchdown? It's Mike Tomlin. I'm not saying that's a coaching thing. That's just a mental miscue in the moment.
A mental miscue. It's a rookie player making a rookie play.
And you just can't have it. It's 17-14 at the time. 17-14, they kick it off.
Feels like at the time a 10-point swing, right? Just Pittsburgh had kind of gotten into a little bit of a role there offensively. Feels like they were going to get 3 points maybe on that drive, and you do that.
You can't have it. You can't have it when you're a Pittsburgh team that, let's face it, you barely won the week before, needed a 60-yard field goal in that one. Then you lose this one, you could very easily be 0-2. So you need every win you can get.
And you didn't have Seattle on the ropes. Obviously, you're down getting the ball back, but that's a very winnable game at the time that happens.
Yep.
And it now feels unwinnable.
Yep.
So, really helped the over. Browns head to Baltimore, where they lose 41-17 to the Ravens, who won by 24, but doesn't feel like they played their best game.
They were up 10-3 at halftime. Like, it just did not feel like a dominating performance, but they went out there and won by 24 points. This is what we warned about on Friday. Like, don't mess around with Baltimore. They'll drop a 40 spot on you. Didn't play their best. Dropped a 40 spot on you.
It's 81 points in the first 2 weeks for the Ravens.
With only one win to show for.
Yeah. Broncos head to Indianapolis, but come up just short. Colts with a 45-yard field goal to win it, 29-28 in the house that Peyton built.
What do we make of the leverage call on the missed field goal the play prior?
Why do it?
Is this a rules are rules kind of thing?
I think it's a rules are rules a little.
And don't put yourself in those types of situations.
It's a 60-yarder from a rookie kicker.
Yeah, like don't invite them to move it up.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. Daniel Jones, man.
Yeah, another great day for Daniel Jones.
23 of 34, 316 yards, 1 touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 165 yards on the ground.
He had that big run.
The big run, 68-yarder. Caught a touchdown as well. Just, man, the Colts are impressive, 2-0.
To be honest with you, they just feel like a good football team. Super Bowl rematch. Eagles headed to Kansas City. Squeak out a 3-point win after holding on late. 20-17, Eagles.
I hope everybody enjoys the next 16 weeks of the tush push, because at the end of the season is going to be removed from the rule book.
That is the biggest takeaway from yesterday.
They're going to remove that thing.
I also I'll give the Eagles credit, and this is not a homer thing. The Eagles went there and played the brand of football the Chiefs want to play and beat them at it.
I don't know if the Chiefs want their quarterback to only have 100 passing yards. And I'm not taking a shot at your quarterback. Yeah. I do think they want to throw the ball a little bit more. But listen, the Chiefs have problems outside of Mahomes and Kelsey. Like, they just do. We knew this going into the season.
Kelsey, I mean, you're on the goal line. That's a 14-point swing.
Yeah, you got to catch that ball.
You got to catch that ball.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%. And for the Eagles, they're impressive, and they're now 2-0, and nobody's surprised by this. Most people were picking the Eagles in this game yesterday.
It was one of my plays of the week. We finish in Sunday night. Not much to say other than pretty boring. 22-6 win for the Falcons over the Vikings.
I have a lot to say. Remember how last Sunday was the most riveting game of Sunday Night Football in the history of Sunday Night Football to many people? Said it was the game of the season. This was the worst game of the season. I watched every single down of this game. I had some bets everywhere on this game. To peel behind the curtain a little bit, with some friends over the weekend, we each individually picked a player on each team for the first touchdown of the game. My 2 players were Adam Thielen for the Vikings. Now, the Vikings did not score a touchdown. And my pick for the Atlanta Falcons was Tyler Algier. In the fourth quarter of the game, with 4 minutes to go, I cashed the first touchdown scorer of the game. That's everything you need to know about how enjoyable of a watch that game was last night.
I will tell you, Falcons get the win, obviously, by multiple scores. There's not much to say really positively for the Falcons. The defense played well.
Pass rush.
Pass rush looks great. James Pierce Jr. looks like a problem.
Looked good. Walker looked good.
Yeah.
Vikings lose their center in the middle of the game, already down Christian Darrisaw, so it just opened up a huge opportunity for the Falcons. And for maybe my 7 or 8 people listening that could be Minnesota Vikings fans out there, this is what happens when you have a young quarterback that's learning the ropes. There's going to be growing pains. There's going to be growing pains. So I wouldn't take this game and think that there was a mistake made by letting Sam Darnold go. Just understand that this is what you accepted when you let Sam Darnold go and gave the reins to J.J. McCarthy.
The other thing I want to say, the Falcons will never not be funny on 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 1. It's always Algier in the game.
That's why I bet him for the first.
It is never
touchdown.
Bijan.
Speaking of Bijan Robinson.
Wow. He was great last night.
22 carries, 143 yards on the ground. Caught 3 balls for 25 yards. Got targeted 5 times. Tied for the most targets in the game.
Yeah, he was great.
He's their offense.
He's their offense.
He is their offense.
And it's a shame because they've talent all over here. Drake London. Drake London had a bad drop last night.
Thanks. I had Drake London longest reception of over 40 yards.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So thanks for that.
How was I supposed to know that?
You were not aware, but it does hurt a little bit that you brought that up. That is your Week 2 NFL Rewind. When we come back, buy or sell to close up hour number 1 here of the program. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. what you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. November 30th, 2 shows, 3 and 7:30 p.m. PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, presented by 100.7 KSLX.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoying fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Denny's has 5 slams starting at $5, like the 2-egg breakfast slam. Great deals on full meals like the Super Slam. That's slamming smart. 5 slams starting at $5. And now earn booth bucks with Denny's rewards. Find your booth at Denny's. Valid at participating restaurants and on Denny's.com for a limited time. Restrictions and surcharges apply.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract, play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Well, we learned some news during the break. J.J. McCarthy being ruled out for week 3 with an ankle sprain. Vikings play the Bengals this week. So it is Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning in the third week of the season. Just how we all drew it up.
I was going to say, who didn't draw that one coming up?
Just the way we all had it. It's just, we spend all summer long projecting what these teams are going to do. And within 2 weeks, we're not even done with week 2, and everything about Cincinnati has changed. And just for at least a 1-week sample size, everything for Minnesota changes. Just, you can't predict sports, man. You just can't. Just can't do it. We close up hour number 1. A little buy or sell. Hottest takes in sports talk radio. What is on the menu today, producer?
Little football. I got mixed in a little baseball today.
I mean, there's a lot of reason to mix in baseball today. We're going to get to that here in hour number 2 of the program. I promise you.
The D-backs will probably need at least one sweep in the rest of the year to get the last wild card spot.
So remember how last week we were doing the math? And we were like, this math's kind of tough for them. They start play tonight. 3-game series with the San Francisco Giants. 2 games out of a playoff spot. Just a half game behind the San Francisco Giants. So you win tonight against the Giants. You move in front of them. Now the Mets are off tonight. You will move in front of them. You will be above 500. You'll be 76-75. And you will be just a game and a half outside of the Mets for the 3rd and final playoff spot. Who do the Mets have starting tomorrow night? Just so happens to be the 82-68 San Diego Padres. So what was the take again?
That the D-backs will need at least one sweep down the stretch.
You take 2 out of 3 from the Giants, you're in front of them in the standings. I don't know if you need a sweep. I just keep winning series.
So we're selling.
I'm selling the take.
Listen, it's been, whether they make it or not, a really nice fight from the D-backs down the stretch. Really nice fight.
I mean, I think this is saying more about the other teams.
Certainly. But they have been good since the deadline.
But they're in the mix. So,
yeah.
So honestly,
who cares?
I don't care how you get there.
Doesn't matter.
You're in the mix. Who cares?
Yep. The Cardinals' defensive performance in the fourth quarter makes you a little concerned.
No, I'm more concerned about the team just not finishing overall. The defense, they get an onside kick. Like, those things are going to happen. The defense, when it mattered on that drive, came through, got a ton of pressure. Sweat made an impact early in this game. We're going to touch on that here in hour number 2 of the program. I mean, I'm not overly concerned. I'm concerned about an offense not taking the chance to go up 34-9 late in the game, the early start of the fourth quarter, and instead Kyler throwing a pick. I'm more concerned about an offense not being able to run more time off the clock. In fact, losing the time of possession battle in this game. I'm more concerned about a team that committed 12 penalties and lost that battle once again. I'm worried about those things more than I am about the defense overall.
The Colts will win the AFC South.
We're gonna pump the brakes. We're gonna slow down just a second. They're impressive. They're 2-0. I get it. They played a Dolphins team in week 1 that I think we all agree stinks out loud. And week 2, they played a Bronco team. Didn't play well in week 1, right?
Didn't play well in week 2.
And didn't play well in week 2. So I'm not going to totally it's not like they beat the Ravens and Bills in back-to-back weeks.
So we're selling.
I'm selling for the moment, yes.
The Broncos will not make the playoffs, just the flip side of that coin.
I want to look at where things are 2 weeks into the season.
Listen, the Broncos are 1-1. And I guess right now, somebody in that division is going to be 2-0 tonight.
Could tie. Just saying, could tie.
Could tie, and you'd still be above the Broncos. And your 2 teams above you.
So right now in the AFC, Bills, Bengals, Colts, Chargers are in. Raiders, and then there's a bunch of ties for the final spot between the Patriots, Ravens, Jags, and Broncos. I don't know. There's a pathway for some other teams. We got the Chiefs 0-2, right? That would be on the outside of the playoff.
Chiefs are 0-2.
So I will sell the take for right now.
Are the Chiefs, let me ask you this. It wasn't one of my questions, but are the Chiefs, are you concerned about them? 0-2, it's the first 0-2 start under Patrick Mahomes. First time they've lost 3 in a row if you include the Super Bowl.
Am I concerned? There are things that worry me about where the Chiefs are at right now. I am never going to doubt Mahomes and Reed.
Certainly.
Being able to get this team to being competent and relevant. Now, that could mean just going 10-7 and not being a scary threat in the postseason the way that they've been for the last half decade plus. But do I think they're going to be at the bottom of the AFC West when it's all said and done? No, I do not.
I'll tell you, they got a get-right game this week. They got the Giants on the road on Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys are a better team than we had originally thought they would be.
Cowboys?
Cowboys.
No.
Selling.
I'm selling. They played a bad second half against Philadelphia, although if you want to chalk it up to the weather delay. But you almost beat the Giants. You almost got beat by the Giants. You were down. You needed a 65-yard field goal just to force overtime in that game. And in overtime, you weren't overly impressive. So, no, I'm not.
I'll give him credit. Dak was good.
Dak was okay. They should have comfortably won that game against the Giants. Giants could do nothing against Washington the week prior. They waltzed in and scored 37.
It is so funny looking at these stats. Like Russell Wilson, 30 of 41 in this game. They dropped back Russell Wilson 40-plus times. Dak Prescott, 38 of 52. They threw the ball 52 times.
That's just the way the game went. That's where the big plays were.
Yeah.
weren't big plays in the running game, and the Dallas Cowboys offense got better as the game went on. That is going to do it for us here. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. When we come back, they didn't make any changes in the offseason, so should we be surprised by what we're seeing from the Cardinals offense so far this season? That's next. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Welcome everyone under the lights at Mountain America Stadium. Boy, look at this stadium. If you're not here, shame on you. There's a long history of this facility. This is one of the biggest games ever played here.
This is the biggest game for these players, the biggest game for the city, the program, and even the valley.
Go up and go get it, young man. What a catch. Intercepted.
Buy your season tickets, because why would you not want to be in that environment?
Arizona State Sun Devil football. Buy your season tickets now at sundevils.com.
Stevie Nicks.
One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Live at PHX Arena.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo starting at $3.99 comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $3.99. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I want to start the second hour of the program diving back into the Cardinals' offense, if that's all right with all of you. Because I think, despite scoring 27 points yesterday, there is still some concern overall about where this offense is. I mean, 7 of the points, a direct result of a scoop and score. Shout out to Josh Sweat creating that early on in the game. What was it, on the third play? Making that happen yesterday. So really only 20 points to show for as an offense, and some of the same problems. And I don't think producer Evan did this on purpose, but in describing Marvin Harrison Jr.'s game yesterday, he described some of the similar problems that this offense had last season. I think watching this team so far through 2 weeks, you're seeing some of the same issues that plagued them last year. And can I tell you what my greatest fear is right now with this team? I don't know how they fix that. They didn't change anything on their offense on purpose. They kept the offensive line the same on purpose. They kept the coaching staff on purpose. They brought back Zay Jones to be the wide receiver 2 on purpose. Trey Benson, James Conner in the backfield. All of this has been by design because they told us their belief internally was the thing that was going to help this offense the most wasn't going out and getting a wide receiver 2, wasn't going out and getting maybe an upgrade at right guard instead of turning to a young option internally that had played a little bit last year but hadn't been an entrenched starter at that position. That instead of drafting somebody in the first round to help them, drafting a wide receiver 2, instead of all of that, the thing that they thought was going to help this offense the most was changing nothing, was the continuity, was the same system, the same coaches, the same language, the same teammates, everything staying the same was the thing that was going to benefit this team the most. And I'm sorry. I tried to buy into that. I tried to believe that that would help them. But we're 2 weeks in, and can I tell you what scares me the most right now, Evan? You got a running game that looks like it's taking a step backwards as well. You have a running game that's not putting up the numbers that it did a year ago. James Conner isn't the player through the first 2 games of the season that he was last year. And if you don't have that, then you don't have an offense because that is this team's offense. That is their identity. And if they can't run the ball, if their run blocking isn't going to open up opportunities for Conner and Benson regularly and more gets put on Kyler Murray's plate, it's not what this team wants to be. It's not how this team is going to win football games. And so I feel like I don't want to harp on too many negatives because they won the football game and we should be happy about that. But the bar is set high for this team. And I don't think they can hit that bar playing the way that they played for the last 2 days. Last 2 games, I should say.
I mean, as a team, you averaged 3.7 yards a carry.
Last year, that number was, I think, 5.
And against a Panthers team that last week was just getting gashed in the run game. And was talked about coming in as the Cardinals are going to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage and run the football. And it just never really felt like they did that.
The Jaguars, do you have the number in front of you? I'm trying to pull it up here on my end of how much the Jags ran for on the Panthers in week 1. Because it was a lot. I mean, ETN ran so well, they traded Tank Bigsby.
I was going to say, they went out and traded the other back.
Because of how well ETN ran the football. And yet, you struggled yesterday. 82 total yards on the ground. That's not Cardinals football.
So, ETN had 16 carries for 143 last week, 8.9 a carry. As a team, they ran the ball 32 times for 200, averaging 6.5 yards a carry.
You ran the ball for 82 yards. You didn't crack 100 yards on the ground. And so on top of all of the concerns that I have about the passing offense, because it doesn't look any different. Does it feel any different? This is kind of what I was hinting at in the first segment of the program when I was using my analogy of somebody that's been in your life forever, whether it's a friend, a family member, a significant other, and you just grow apart for whatever reason. Something happens, you just grow apart. You're just not the same people that you were when you first were hanging out with them. And over the course of time, you hear that person's changed, and you think of the good times, and you want that person back in your life. And you let that person back into your life, but you kind of start to see the signs of the person that made you go your separate ways previously. The Cardinals are that situation. I want to believe that they are a different football team. I want to believe they are a different offense. Everything they're showing me right now tells me they are the same offense that they were last year, and that offense wasn't good enough to win, wasn't good enough to make the postseason, wasn't good enough to hold off a second half collapse. Wasn't good enough.
We had this conversation multiple times, it felt like, in the offseason. But the one thing we always talked about is, with this improved defense, can the offense be the same it was last year and make the playoffs? And to me, the answer was always no. They lacked creativity. They lacked big plays. You could run the ball, but all of a sudden, you seem to be worse at that. And that's a massive issue. That is a massive, massive problem. And it's hard when you watch these games, back to what you said, you're waiting for somebody you used to know to be that person again. Just feels the whole time we're waiting for Kyler Murray to throw an interception. And how bad is it going to hurt the Cardinals?
You're waiting for those moments because you're kind of seeing it. You're seeing that Marv through 2 weeks, this doesn't look any different than it did last year. It doesn't look like somebody else is going to emerge as a wide receiver too. There's a reason why everybody wanted an upgrade from Zay Jones and Michael Wilson. You decided to double down and stay with that group. Should we be surprised that those guys are struggling? Should we be surprised that this team is on the offensive side of the ball basically repeating their performances from last year? We shouldn't be surprised. The offense scored, 20 points yesterday? They had one defensive score?
Yeah.
They scored 20?
20 points. One of them, their first touchdown of the game, they started on the 45. Granted, 50 seconds left in the half, but you didn't have to go the length of the field. Started on the opponent 55 and punched it in. That was one of them. The other one was the game script coming out of half, which was by far their best series of the game.
When it was scripted, designed.
And even on that series, on 1st and goal, they run a designed rollout, and Kyler misses by 5 to 10 yards. An easy touchdown.
What frustrates me the most watching this team on a weekly basis right now is I just feel like I'm putting the tape in the VCR of last year. Feels like I'm pulling up on my tablet on NFL Pro all 22 tape from last season. That's what I feel like I'm watching. And so I'm saying this not to be that guy, but I'm saying this because I wouldn't be surprised if this team struggles this weekend against San Francisco and we're all left kind of throwing our hands up, wondering what happened. I'm trying to be the guy ahead of time that's telling you this can happen. I'm trying to be the guy that's out in front and saying this team has problems. They're 2-0 and there are problems. And their problems are on the side of the ball that were there last year and the year before that. And honestly, the problems of this offense that have been here since Kyler Murray was drafted number 1 overall and he went under center for this team. I'm not seeing enough of a difference to make me think this season is going to end differently. If you want to put a positive spin on it for just a second, we are 2 weeks in of an 18-week season. There is plenty of time for them to change that narrative. But guess what? This isn't just a 2-week overreaction. We saved the overreactions for Tuesday's show. This is not an overreaction because I watched this script last year. So this isn't just a 2-game sample size. This is a 19-game sample size. It is a 7-year sample size of Kyler Murray. If you want to be fair to Gannon and Petzing, it is the 8 games that he played in that first year coming off of the injury. It's the games that he played last year, and it's the 2 games this year. This isn't just looking at these 2 games and saying this offense stinks, this offense isn't going anywhere, because then I would understand, Chris, you're overreacting. Team's 2-0. Give them a chance. Let them put the system in place. This has been going on for now 3 seasons. And for the last 2 seasons, we've been wondering how they're going to get Marv more involved. We've been wondering how they're going to operate this offense without a true wide receiver too. And now you add on top of it, because to me, this is the biggest concern, a running game that feels like it might be going in the other direction. A running game that feels like it might be going in the wrong direction. What did James Conner's final line look like? 34 yards, the leading carrier for this team.
11 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown. His long of the day was 8 yards.
No, I don't think this fixes it because I do think there are some problems up front with their run blocking right now. But boy, aren't you getting close to needing to have a Trey Benson conversation. But the sad part, the frustrating part that I hope you can hear in my voice today, none of this should be surprising. This is kind of what everybody's fear was in the summer. And I think at times I've had a very positive spin on this offense being able to be better because I expected it to be better. I expected that continuity to help them, but perhaps that continuity was complacency. Maybe that continuity was not the confidence builder that it needed to be, because for 2 weeks, I have not seen an offense that is improved. I have not seen an offense that is ready to take that next step. I've seen an offense that looks like it has plateaued. And if you want to say it's plateaued because of the coach, the coordinator, if you want to say it's plateaued because of the quarterback, if you want to say it's plateaued because of the skill position group as a whole, if you want to say it's plateaued because of the offensive line, if you want to say it's plateaued because you have an aging running back, you could say it is plateaued for all of those reasons, and I couldn't argue with you because I can't put my finger on exactly what I think the issue is right now.
Here's what I think the issue is. They lack explosion. I mean, through 3 weeks, they have 6 explosive plays. That's what the NFL characterizes 20-yard plays or more. And I know what everybody's going to say, well, 6 isn't bad. One of them comes on a Kyler Murray scramble. That was 30 yards. He made a nice move late in the game, made a guy miss. And guess what happened on the next play? He threw the interception. They have the Marv big reception last week, 45-yarder. That was a big one. They have the Trey Benson run from last week, 52-yarder. They have a Trey McBride, couple catches, one for 31, one for 25. But other than that, I mean, is there ever a time where you're saying, okay, this offense is going to come out and take their shot? You know, they have a big run from Kyler Murray, 30 yards. It's off script. It's not really an explosive play by design. You have the 52-yarder from Trey Benson. That's awesome. It's great when you can do that, but not by design. You're not taking your shots. The only play that is the designed shot play that you've hit on this year was the 45-yarder to Marv last week. That's it.
And I think the idea of Kyler running around and making those plays as explosives is supposed to be complementary to the deep shots, right? You can't live and die off of those being your explosives because sometimes it'll lead to the interception that you saw in that game yesterday, right? Where he's running around, trying to make a play, trying to be a hero, throws the ball up. By the way, I saw somebody earlier on the YouTube side of things saying that he thought the ball got tipped and Kyler's arm got, knocked away. Let me tell you, even if he got the ball off, it was getting intercepted.
We watched the all-22 on it this morning. I don't know where it was going.
There were 5 Panthers defenders in the vicinity of 2 Cardinals receivers. Not a chance that ball gets completed if contact isn't made. There's no reason why that ball shouldn't have been thrown away. And even if it was being thrown away, wasn't a very good attempt at throwing the ball away anyway. And Michael says, Chris, the biggest problem is they haven't figured out how to fix it for years. And I can't blame you for thinking that. Now, again, they're 2-0 for the first time since 2021. So I don't want to harp all negative today. They're 2-0 for the first time since 2021. That is fantastic. They have a chance this Sunday to start 1-0 in the division, be 3-0 to start the year, and be in the top spot in the NFC West. And so you know what? I have no problem complaining about a team when they're 3-0, right? We can nitpick, we'll complain, but at the end of the day, they're 3-0. That'd be great. Right now, they're 2-0, but I have some concerns because these were supposed to be the 2 games where you set the example. You made a statement. You showed us that things were different. And in these 2 games, in these 2 chances, you didn't do that. So now I go into this game against San Francisco, and I don't expect you to be able to set the example there because you didn't set it for the last 2 weeks.
And listen, a week ago, I was very confident in them coming out to play Mac Jones, but the way Mac Jones and the Niners looked this week, even though they played a 5-point game with the Saints, I thought Mac Jones was very effective. And the way the Cardinals offense looks, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about trying to get a win in San Fran.
You won. You're 2-0. You're atop the division. It's a good problem to have that we're complaining about this. But I worry that none of these problems or issues are fixable. And I haven't even really dove into this idea that they didn't even finish the game. They had a 27-3 lead that they let slip away. I haven't even really begun to unpack that because I'm watching the same thing that I saw a year ago with this offense.
Again, your last 2 series, where you have 27 points and can put the game away with points. You throw a pick in the red zone, you go 3 and out in your own 10.
Can't do it.
You can't do it.
You will not win enough games if that's the way that you play in those crunch time moments. And we said that before the season, how we were going to evaluate Kyler. How did he and the offense thrive on those drives that we circled and said, man, this is where you got to have points. For 2 straight weeks, hasn't really done that. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream over on our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. Take us with you on the go, and you have your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Philadelphia Phillies this Saturday. I mean, you want to talk about a potential playoff environment. Philly's going to win the NL East. Diamondbacks fighting out for a playoff spot right now. So you want your chance to win 4 tickets, head over to the KDUS AM 1060 app, register, log in while you're listening, and you will be entered in for a chance to win those tickets. Speaking of the Diamondbacks, when we come back, it's like a playoff type series tonight for the Diamondbacks. We'll preview it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Win a brand new Toyota Tacoma when you support Arizona women. That's right. When you enter Fresh Start's Toyota raffle, your ticket purchase provides women access to comprehensive resources on the path to success and gives you a chance to take home a Tacoma SR5 double cab. Thanks to Valley Toyota dealers, all proceeds go directly to helping the women Fresh Start serves. Enter until November 21st. One ticket is $100, 3 for $250. Limited to 1,500 entries. Open to Arizona residents 21 and over. Visit freshstartwomen.org/Toyota raffle.
Every day begins with the promise of something new. A new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
Son, do you know what time it is?
Your father and I were waiting all night for you to come home.
I'm sorry. So we could tell you that you're eligible to become a member of Navy Federal Credit Union. Wait, what?
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join and get exclusive savings, discounts, and award-winning service.
Thank you. Now go to your room and think about what we said. All veterans and their families are eligible. Join today. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K to 12 at ChoosePrimavera.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Week 2 of the NFL season, yet another reminder of why overreacting to Week 1 is always a big mistake. Just look at the Lions. A week ago, the story was, they missed Ben Johnson. On Sunday, they put up 52 points in their former coordinator and division rival Bears. Aaron Rodgers looked like he turned the clock back after torching the Jets in Week 1, only to cool off in Week 2. The Steelers came out swinging early, but fell flat against the Seahawks and lost by 2 touchdowns in Pittsburgh. And then there's the Jets. They surprised everybody with that explosive offensive performance, and then they followed it up with a thud, scoring 3 points against Buffalo. 2 weeks is nowhere near enough sample size to figure out who is real and who isn't. Teams still finding their rhythm, coaches still ironing out schemes, and players still adjusting. September, it's about patience. Don't crown champions or bury pretenders too soon. There's a whole lot of football left to be played. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Pickleball is the fastest growing court sport in the world, and no one makes playing pickleball safer, more comfortable, and quicker on your feet than Tyrell. Tyrell is the first purpose-built shoe made specifically for playing pickleball. Tyrell shoes are made with the famous Vibram outsole. Remember, Tyrol. If you want to elevate your game, you want to play longer, more comfortably, go to TyrellPickleball.com and experience how Tyrell can help your game while making you look like a real pro.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
I know how foolish this is going to sound. I'm aware of it. But the Diamondbacks have a chance to make the postseason. I mean, they just do. I know they're a 500 baseball team. I know. I get it. We were firing Torrey 3 weeks ago. I'm aware of everything that's gone on just on this program about the Arizona Diamondbacks over the last couple of weeks. But I can't ignore what the math tells me, okay? I can't ignore when I pull up the standings, you see a Mets team that's 2-8 in their last 10, that if not for a win yesterday, would have lost 9 games in a row. They only have a 1.5 game lead over the San Francisco Giants, only a 2-game lead on you, the Diamondbacks, and you play the Giants tonight for 3. I just can't ignore that if you take 2 out of 3 from this series against San Francisco, you will be, to use the college basketball, you're the first team out. You are the first team out in the NL wildcard. I honestly don't care that they're only a 500 baseball team. I don't care that you don't think they can go far in the postseason. I don't really care that perhaps they're going to fall short of this. It is September 15th. They start a 3-game series tonight, put their record to the side. They are in a playoff race. That's just the truth of the situation.
It's awesome. It is. I don't know how you can't be excited about this, because guess what? They're doing it with this young team that we talked about, right? They're scoring runs and they're playing good baseball. They're like, I know it's not always because they've caught up more. It's more that the wild card, to use Mike Hazen's phrase, has fallen back to them. Who cares? But they're not playing good baseball.
It doesn't matter how it's happened. It matters that it happened. It happened. The wild card took a little bit longer than Mike Hazen wanted it to, but it fell back to them a little bit. And now, if you ask me, do I honestly think that they're going to pass the Giants and the Mets and get that third and final spot? No. There are all the reasons in the world, because they're a 500 baseball team, why you think that's not going to happen. But guess what? Do you know who starts tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks in a game that they have to have? Maybe their best pitcher since the trade deadline. One of the best pitchers in baseball since the trade deadline. Zach Allen, who's been excellent since the trade deadline. Excellent. We broke it down here on the show, how good he has been. A 2.57 ERA in August. A 3.55 ERA in September. 8 starts. In July, he had a 5 ERA. In June, he had a 6 ERA. He's been bad for most of the season. He has turned it on. His last 30 days, last 30 calendar days, a 2.64 ERA in 5 starts. He's been everything this team has needed him to be, and he's the guy that this team has on the mound tonight, where if they win, we come in here tomorrow. I will play.
Time for our top story of the day.
I'll play the daily special sounder, and it will be the Diamondbacks are 1.5 games out of the playoffs.
Doesn't it feel crazy? We are in a spot where probably a month and a half ago, I never thought the Diamondbacks would start another show.
And if they win tonight, they will start tomorrow's show.
They just will. They should.
They'll be above 500. They will be in front of the Giants, in front of the Cardinals, in front of the Reds. The only team that matters to them that will be in front of them
is the New York Mets.
The New York Mets, who are not playing tonight and start a 3-game series with San Diego tomorrow. And so I give you permission. Diamondbacks win tonight. Scoreboard watch to your heart's desire. Scoreboard watch all over the place. Because we said 3. You said 3 games. That was the number you threw out there. The Diamondbacks are within 3 games. You got to start scoreboard watching. You got to start paying attention.
And it's hard because even as somebody who's checking the D-back score throughout the weekend, right, between working the ASU game and watching football all day, then you start to look. You fall out of where they're at. And I'm checking the standings. And you start looking around. It's hard not to say I didn't look at the scores yesterday. See where teams fell.
You took 2 out of 3 from Minnesota. You lost the first game on Friday, and boy, how differently would it feel if you won that game on Friday. But you take 2 out of 3 from Minnesota. And oh, by the way, you just played this Giants team. You won the finale of that series. You lost 2 of 3. So you have to get some revenge against this team. And it's not going to be easy. Because after that, it's 3 against the Phillies, it's 3 against the Dodgers, it's 3 against the Padres. Like, I'm aware of how difficult it is.
It's a tough stretch
over these final 12. These final 12 are really tough games. I'm aware of the challenge that it is. But it's 2 games with 12 to play. Now, you have to be in front of the Mets. They have the tiebreaker over you. You cannot tie them. So you have to have...
More or less, you're down 3 games. That's the way to look at it.
You're down 3 games. Now, the Mets' magic number to clinch that playoff spot is 11. So their magic number is 11 with 12 games to play. Now, 11 is their wins combined with losses of the teams directly behind them. And I think in this case, it would be Giants losses right now.
Yes.
That would lock that up. And so for them, they're going to get one tonight because the Giants and or the Diamondbacks are going to lose this game. That's going to help them tonight in that regard for their magic number.
Yes. So the Mets would get either way. Either team loses.
I think they'll gain.
You get a magic number.
I think they'll gain a magic number out of the game.
I believe you're correct.
They'll be down to 10 with them having what I think they also have 12 games left to play. All you got to do is win baseball games. You start one at a time. You start tonight, you win the game, you then you reset the next day. It is 1 game play. Remember when we had the 1 game wild card?
Those were fun.
For the Diamondbacks, it is 12 1-game wild cards.
And you hate to be like, that sounds like coach speak, more or less. You hear that phrase a lot.
I'm going full-blown manager speak there.
There's just no other way. Start with tonight. Win tonight at home. You're 1.5 games back.
And if you're Torey Lovello, manage this like it is a 1-game playoff.
That's the next thing I was going to say. My best relievers in my biggest spots does not matter. If they pitch 3 days in a row, they pitch 3 days in a row. We'll worry about that when we get to the playoffs.
I am in a position where, despite my record, I am 2 games out of a playoff spot. I have to manage this like it is game 161 or 162, and I need 1 game to get it. I need to treat every one of these games as a playoff game. I need to use my best relievers in the most important spots. I need to maybe have a quick hook with my starter if he's not getting it done. I need every single one of these. I'm 2 back with 12 games to play.
And watch for the quick hook tonight. I mean, in his last outing, Zach wasn't great, and that was against San Fran in San Fran. You know, the 6 2/3, 5 hits, 5 earned. He walked 3, gave up 2 homers. So
the worst start he's had since the deadline.
It's by far the worst start he's had since the deadline. So there might be a quick hook tonight. And you need to understand, like you said, this is a playoff series. In the best way I can put it, you're going to play a 12-game playoff series.
Every game is a 1-game playoff. Every one of these games is game 163. That's what these are.
And you get to play. You have the opportunity to play the team right in front of you tonight.
Yes.
In this series. That's the opportunity presented to you.
You win this series.
You're past the Giants. You don't even have to worry about it.
And now it's 9 games to go, and you focus on scoreboard watching the Mets. That's what is in front of this team. It's incredible. It is impressive that they've played this well since the deadline, despite trading all of those pieces. Credit to everybody involved. And again, this is a credit to Torey. It really is. We've been critical when it is required on this show to be critical. We praise when it is required to be praised. This is a moment where you praise Torey Lovello because he has kept this thing on the rails to where I don't care that they're 75 and 75, 2 games out of a playoff spot. He deserves, we were doing the success pie. He deserves a good chunk of the victory pie.
I think a month ago, I had to buy or sell 70 or less wins or something. No, not 70 or less. I think it was 80 or less wins, right? It was a number.
Something like that, yes.
And that felt like that team was going off the rails a little. I'll give them credit. And I know I've been probably the biggest person calling for Torey Lovello on this show. A steady hand has guided this team back into the picture.
You go 7-5 the rest of the way. Maybe that's not good enough to make the postseason, but you go 7-5. That's an 82-80 season in a year in which you sold in which you sold at the deadline. Yeah. You were sellers at the deadline. You still finished above 500.
You know what gets really sad is if they go 82-80. Let's say they miss this thing by 1 to 2 games. How many times are we going to circle that meltdown meter early in the year?
The meltdown list gets broken out a little bit, and you're like, that game you lost in Chicago when you gave up 10 runs in 1 inning. The game against the Dodgers.
The game against the Braves where you blew it, and Gino hit 4 homers. And
I mean, I don't even need the list directly in front of me, and we just named 3 games like that. Which, by the way, isn't that exactly what we were doing at the end of last year? I know we weren't doing the show, but the we in this is people who watch and support and are fans of the Diamondbacks. You were doing this last year when they missed on a tiebreaker. You were doing if that result is different or if that result was different, you were doing that. But just be excited that even though they sold, even though this team wanted to make you rip your hair out, maybe you did rip your hair out watching them, they start a series tonight in which if they win, they are the first team on the outside looking into the playoffs, and it is just 1.5 games that stops them from being in a playoff spot.
I haven't pulled this up in a while.
Okay.
Rockies gave up 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 9th.
You found the meltdown meter? The season got so bad, we stopped adding to it. So I'm sure there are a handful of games that we would need to retroactively add to the meltdown meter. Because there was like 8 or 9 on there, and we kind of stopped.
Right now there's 10.
And we kind of stopped adding.
Some of them are a little, Phillies on May 2nd. That one fell on Torey, right? He goes to Castillo, not Beeks. He gives up back-to-back, not back-to-back, but the Kepler home run and the Schwarber home run.
Right, where he goes to the wrong lefty reliever. I remember wanting to punch his computer monitor the next day when we talked about it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have pulled this back.
And that same series is the series where doesn't Shelby blow it, but they win the game?
They win the game, yeah.
See, we could do this all day, folks. There's just so many games on this list on that could be the difference maker at the end of the day. Do you know what their current odds to make the postseason are? It's the highest they've been in a while.
Is this via Fangraphs?
I am looking at ESPN's playoff.
Okay. I think they have a 9% chance to make the playoffs.
The Giants have a 9.6% chance of making the postseason.
Okay, so then I'll just because of schedule, I'll give the Diamondbacks a 5.4% chance.
4.9% chance. Now, you would assume that with a win tonight and passing the Giants in the standings, that those odds will get a little closer. They have the Phillies and the Brewers with a 100% chance because both of those teams have clinched playoff spots. And they have the Dodgers at a greater than 99.9% chance. They have the Cubs at a greater than 99.9% chance. They have the Padres at 99.7%. So all those teams are going to get in. And then you're at the Mets, who have an 80.4% chance. The Reds with 4.9%. The Giants with 9.6%. And the Diamondbacks also with 4.9%. Only 2 teams officially eliminated, the Nationals and the Rockies in the National League side of things. Win the game tonight. 1 game, wild card series. Win tonight, get to tomorrow. That's the recipe for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, just took a couple of plays into the game, but the new high-paid guy on the Arizona Cardinals, their big free agent acquisition, he made an impact early. We'll talk about it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Phoenix, celebrate culture, community, and football. Join Phoenix Rising on Saturday, September 20th at 7 p.m. for Hispanic Heritage Night as they face off against Loudoun United FC. The first fans through the gates will receive free Rising maracas while supplies last, and the night features live mariachi bands and a special menu honoring the flavors of the Valley. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Color, culture, rising together.
Cool off with a road trip to northern Arizona's beautiful AAA Four Diamond Resort. Football freaks, crush our $57,000 pigskin pick'em and score up to $500 free play weekly and up to $5,000 cash at season's end. Swipe your Players Club card at any kiosk to make your picks. Tuesday, 8 a.m. through Sunday, 10 a.m. For the following week's games, 15 players will score cash or free play. You'll love Zenith Steakhouse, awarded for excellence by Wine Spectator, the D. Rona Award for Excellence, and Open Table Diner's Choice Award. The place to come when you wanna have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and knows CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a Water Watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Everyone's against Detroit. They think that because they lost Ben Johnson, that all of a sudden Detroit and Dan Campbell are going to fold. I think they're still going to be good. Everyone that's seen The Water Boy, read by you, he had the green notebook. Once Henry Winkler's character gave Red Bayou the notebook, which is Dan Campbell, he was able to execute it. But I think Dan Campbell could Red Bayou himself.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
You know, we're getting close to the end of the program, and we haven't discussed enough a combined 6-0 effort from the lunch break over the weekend in the picks.
I don't want to ask the chat for an apology.
I mean, I would demand one. I wouldn't ask for one. I would demand one.
You know, I'm just putting it out there. If you tailed us this week,
6-0.
6-0.
6-0. Now, I'm a little frustrated by your 3-0 performance. See, this is the catch-22 of the way we're doing the picks this year.
Because
I want you to do well because I don't want to just give away free wins to team listeners. As much as I love you guys, I want you to earn it. But I also need you to have bad weeks because I want to win the pick'em contest, and I went 3-0 this week.
And it's hard. Like on some of them, it's easy because like Bengals, Jaguars, you and I both had.
Yes,
you and I both had the Bengals. Right. But it's hard to say at one point. Ravens, Browns. You know, I'm kind of rooting against you there.
Right, you want me to lose.
Because at that point, my other thought is you already got the 3 points. I'm not worried about team listener.
Well, all team listener has to do is tie one of them.
Yeah.
Now, Peyton made a bit of a mistake. because he picked against the game that I had taken.
Yeah, so that was his 1 point play.
So the moment that loses, he's now fighting uphill because now he can't tie me.
Yeah, he already has to tie me because it's
right. So, but I'm just glad we're on the board. It is 1-1, 2 weeks in. We'll do it. Another listener to represent team listener later on in the week on Friday for the picks.
Little point. You have 8 total points?
I have 8 total points. Yes.
I have 6 total.
Yeah. So again, I have a great week, a perfect 6, and I still only have the 2-point lead that I had the week before, but a great week of picks. The Ravens pick was never really in doubt, even though they didn't play great in the first half. I already had the 3 points in my back pocket from the Packers on Thursday. And the Bengals, I mean, I was sweating that out the whole time.
I was sweating that out. It comes down to essentially a pass interference call late in that game. Jake Browning.
It's going to be Jake Browning, Carson Wentz here this upcoming week. By the way, J.J. McCarthy looks like he's going to miss a couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks with his ankle sprain. Jaden Daniels dealing with a knee sprain. Not sure what his status.
They brought Carson in late, didn't they?
I believe that was a later signing, yes.
Yeah.
So he is going to get a chance to operate the Kevin O'Connell offense. Speaking of people who should celebrate having great weekends, Josh Sweat should celebrate having a great weekend because you saw on the third play of the game why the Cardinals brought in Josh Sweat. You saw early and often in that game. Didn't it feel like you saw the pass rush yesterday? Like,
yeah,
that's the one positive to take. Go back and watch the final drive. Now that maybe it's the day after and you know that they won and you're not stressed about it in the moment, go watch the final drive. The Panthers did move the ball up the field because of penalties. Every single play, somebody was getting home for the Cardinals. It was a very impressive effort from the pass rush and spearheaded by Josh Sweat 3 plays into the game, creating a turnover that leads to a scoop and score.
And it felt like, especially late in the game, where they would move forward and then move backwards, right? You get the intentional grounding call and intentional grounding. Here's where I stand on it. They got to register that as a sack for some of the guys.
You want that to be registered as a sack?
Yeah. If I'm arms around him and he gets an intentional grounding, that player should get a sack. That feels fair.
I have this rule. It'll never get instituted. But if you catch a ball and there was pass interference committed against you, you should get an additional 5 yards on the play, like an N1 in basketball.
I love that. Love that.
Like if you interfere with me to the point where it is warranted a pass interference penalty and I still catch the ball, I deserve the N1 like in basketball. Not like a bonus 15 yards. I should get a bonus 5 yards. A bonus 5 yards because you committed an infraction and I still made the play.
I kind of like it.
It will never happen.
No.
We're too busy banning the tush push this offseason for that type of rule to be thrown out there. But I was just impressed. The one good thing coming out of this game, I think, despite the 19 straight points that the Panthers scored, the pass rush, when it mattered most on that fourth quarter drive, the pass rush showed up.
And it was good to see Calais Campbell. Not that he's going to give you the snaps that he used to give you. That's just not who he is anymore. Late in the game was very effective.
Yes.
Obviously had the sack to win, but he had a good series there on that last series.
And you're going to need more of that. You're going to need that this week against San Francisco. You're going to need that against Stafford. Like, let's face it, you face Spencer Rattler and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You need that pass rush.
Next week
against the San Francisco team that I know it's Mac Jones, but Kyle Shanahan is going to try to scheme big plays. And you're going to need that against Baker Mayfield. You're going to need that against Stafford. You're going to need that against Darnold. You're going to need that against Love. You're going to need that against Dak. You're going to need that against these higher profile quarterbacks who can throw the ball down the field.
I think honestly, for me, the most positive sign of the whole thing was the defense played a lot in the fourth quarter, right? They have the long drive where Carolina gets points and then you come back and you go 3 and out. They have a long drive where Carolina gets points again and then they get an onside kick. You're back on the field immediately. That's not much of a breather and you're still getting pressure. There's a lot of teams that wouldn't be able to generate any pressure late in the game after pretty much 3 consecutive series where the offense is out there.
Yeah, it was really good job by the Cardinals pass rush when it mattered most to get home and make nothing easy for Bryce. I mean, everything seemed difficult on that final drive. Everything seemed hard. And Josh Sweat, one of the leaders of that defense, was brought in to be a leader on that defense, made the play earlier in the game, and you saw him late in that game as well. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we wrap up today's edition of the show. We call it the leftovers, all the stories that we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We call them the leftovers. We'll get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Fall savings have arrived at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, receive 1.9% financing for up to 60 months on the brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 or CX-50 Hybrid.
Or receive $10,000 off the top of MSRP when you lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-70 or CX-90 plug-in hybrid. Think of how low your payment will be with those savings. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda on approved credit plus $998 doc fee.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card, part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Let's wrap up today's edition of the show. All the stories we didn't get to. Also kind of a Monday Night Football preview when it's football season. Just kind of how it works.
I just have a feeling more or less that is what Buy or Sell is going to turn into.
You mean the leftovers?
Or sorry, yes. My bad. The leftovers on Mondays, especially when you have the doubleheader.
You got 2 games tonight, including one that you can hear right here on KDUS AM 1060 starting at 6:30. The Raiders will be in action. You can listen to the call here. Pre-game starts at 6:30. I believe kick is at 7 tonight. I think it's for us here on the West Coast, it is a 4 o'clock and a 7 o'clock start.
It's kind of perfect.
It is perfect that they have separated these games by enough time. The thing I hate is when they do the one starts at like 5 o'clock.
And they're like staggered by an hour.
And the other one starts at like 6:05. Like now I got to watch 2 games at the same time.
Yep.
I just did that for 7 hours the day prior.
So I figured we'd add a little touch to the leftovers today.
Always playing the NFL music for the leftovers. I didn't even know that you had that on your board in there. I thought I was the only one that had the ability to do that. But okay. I love it. Go ahead.
Buccaneers at Texans. Buccaneers on the road going to Houston. Houston's -2.5.
Doesn't this feel like a really nice, and I think we said this on Friday, but this is how I feel about the game. good test for both teams.
It really does.
Feels like the winner of this game, you're gonna be like, man, impressed by the Texans winning this game, or impressed by the Bucs winning this game.
Let me ask you this: does it feel like a must-win for Houston? Can't start 0-2. You hate to use that term.
You don't want to start 0-2, and I just don't subscribe to the idea that things are must-win when
until they have to.
You're not actually eliminated. But I hear you. I hear the statistics of how starting 0-2 just puts you behind the 8 ball. Makes it impossible almost for you to battle back and make the postseason. I'm aware. So, yeah, there's pressure on Houston to win this game because you don't want to start 0-2. Do I think it will sink their season? I mean, it doesn't help that the Colts have started 2-0. I mean, I didn't have that on the bingo card. So that makes it a little more challenging to immediately have a 2-game deficit over a division rival. But I don't think it's a must-win for Houston.
Houston, 2.5-point favorites. The total 42.5.
I mean, the Bucs didn't impress in week 1 against the Falcons.
No.
I mean, that Falcons offense wasn't great last night against Minnesota. They scored 1 touchdown. The whole game, 1 touchdown. 2 teams, 1 touchdown. 1. Uno. Tyler Algier, first-time touchdown score. Cash that ticket, fourth quarter.
That is all-time funny.
We're watching the game, and we had more stuff than that. And I was just like, can I just have something? Like just one thing to save the day, to save this game? And he just gets into the end zone. And like me and the group that I was watching, we just chuckled at each other. Like we just laughed. There wasn't like a celebration that you hit the bet. There was just chuckle that just like,
Because it's not. There's a celebration when it's early and it's fun and you feel like you were right.
I was just stressed out for 4 quarters to just get anything in the game. Thanks. It was like a consolation prize.
I do love the over in this Bucs-Texans game.
You start getting totals closer to like 40 and like into the 30s. I have a rule. If a total's in the 30, you got to take.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't this week. I did.
I didn't for the picks, but maybe I did on the side. The other picks.
And then the later game, Chargers at Raiders. No question of who I love in this game.
Yeah, you're Team Raiders. Yeah, you're all in. And by the way, this is not because we carry the Raiders here on the station. Like this is just a mantle that you've picked up. Like,
I really want the Raiders to be good.
Here's how I think this game's going to go tonight. I think this is going to be the moment where the Chargers walk into a game that they're supposed to win and win comfortably, and they do. I think this is after the Chiefs game. I think everybody in the back of their mind is at least opening up the door, a pathway for the Chargers to Charger and to lose this game and be 1-1 and completely undo all of the good by beating the Chargers in Brazil. I think this is where they show things are different this time around. This is a different team. We're well coached. We're disciplined. Herbert's playing his best brand of football. They win this game. They get to 2-0. That's what I think happens tonight. I
was going to say, it does feel like the game this is where the Chargers Charger. You took the words right out of my mouth. I know it sounds crazy because they're playing the Raiders, but this feels like a big game to prove who you are if you're the Chargers.
Because if you lose this game, right, this is the ASU thing. When they lost to Mississippi State, you gave everybody the example to confirm what they've been saying about you. Everybody thinks the Chargers are going to Charger at some point, even though Jim Harbaugh's there. They just anticipate the Chargers are going to blow a fourth quarter lead or get to the postseason and then give up a 4-score lead to the Jags? They were up, 20?
Yeah, the Jags. That was in Jacksonville, correct?
They were up a bunch on the road.
It was 27-0. Yeah. Let me find that game.
I think they were up 4 scores. So everybody's waiting for it. They watch these games and they're just waiting for you to do it. And then the moment it happens, you're like, see, told you that they were going to do it. This is your chance to not allow them to have that moment. So I think the Chargers win this game, and I think they win it comfortably.
Jacksonville was up. The Chargers were up 27-0 on Jacksonville. Jacksonville scores 31 and wins 31-30 on a last-second field goal. Wow. Trevor Lawrence, by the way, 28 of 47, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks.
Everybody is waiting for you to have that game. And they circle ones like tonight on national TV where everybody's going to be watching. The whole football world will be focused on you, just like they were when you lost a 27-0 lead to the Jaguars. And they are waiting for you to mess it up. Just don't.
This game is even crazier looking back at it. Chargers didn't turn the ball over.
No, they just couldn't do anything offensively.
Yeah, so they didn't turn the ball over. They picked off Trevor Lawrence 4 times.
I believe most of them were in the first half. I'm remembering.
You would have to imagine. and lost.
So just don't do that. Don't have that game.
The Raiders are better than we expected.
They played the Patriots, and they played the Patriots well. I want to see a little more.
Does anybody know if Brock Bowers is playing tonight?
I hope so, because I left him in my fantasy lineup because he was only listed as questionable.
He is still listed as questionable.
I had Tyler
Brock
Warren.
Bowers injury report.
Tyler Warren. You know what we didn't do on Friday? You know what I realized just now talking fantasy? You didn't give the start sit-ems on Friday.
Yeah, do you remember I said at the end of start sit-ems, I don't like it, we're not doing it.
I mean, that was just a 1 week sample size. You got to...
Listen, I had a taste. I didn't like it.
Okay, all right. The leftovers is your baby.
I don't need to go back.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I'm just
I just didn't like how it flowed.
I was just thinking about it because I mentioned that Bowers is on my fantasy team. It dawned on me in this moment that we didn't do that on Friday. So you're cooking up something else for Fridays on the leftovers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll cook up something else.
Coming to you leftovers this Friday. That is going to do it for us here. Monday edition of the program in the books. Join us again tomorrow. It's an overreaction Tuesday. Did the Diamondbacks get themselves into prime position for the third and final wild card spot? Did they pass the Giants? All of it on tomorrow's edition of the show. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Jim Rum's coming up next. Everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.